Well, welcome to SU Sports Show. I'm Thomas Dianella.
And I'm Connor Sanders. We have a Super Bowl preview and a deeper look at the Houston Astros cheating scandal for you today, but we begin the show with the death of a legend.
On Sunday morning, Kobe Bryant and 8 others, including his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, were killed in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. Bryant was on his way to Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks for a tournament his daughter was scheduled to play in.
The loss has been felt around the world, with basketball players paying respects to Bryant and other victims. Our reporter Cairo Cook reflected on the career of Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant was born in Philadelphia to former NBA player Joe Bryant and Pamela Cox Bryant. Following in his dad's footsteps, Bryant started playing basketball at the age of 3. Kobe Bryant earned his national recognition during his high school career at Lower Meridian High School in Philadelphia. Kobe Bryant played on the varsity team as a freshman, and his following years in high school he ended his career with a 77-13 record. His junior year, he was named Pennsylvania's Player of the Year. Bryant ended his high school career as Southeastern Pennsylvania's all-time leading scorer at 2,883 points. Bryant received many awards for his high school basketball career, including Gatorade's Men's National Basketball Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, and USA Today All-USA First Team Player.
13th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Meridian High School in Pennsylvania.
Bryant was originally drafted by the Hornets in 1996 in the first round 13th pick. Then soon was traded to the Lakers, starting off a 3-year rookie contract of $3.5 million. In his career, Bryant had averaged per game 25 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 1.4 steals. Bryant was the first player in NBA history to have at least 30,000 career points and 6,000 assists. Bryant was an 18-time All-Star athlete. Kobe Bryant is considered one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the game, and has one of the most decorated careers in the history of the sport. Thank you for all you did, Kobe. You inspired many, and the game will not be the same without you. For SUTV News, I'm Cairo Cook.
Man, that was such tragic news on Sunday to hear about it. It's still hard to grasp the concept of it, that he's gone. What was your thoughts when you heard about it?
Yeah, I think just losing Kobe was so heartbreaking because he meant so much to so many of us. I just feel like people our age, people that are in their 20s now, were kids when Kobe was at his best, when Kobe was really the hero of the NBA, the guy that everybody talked about. And it almost feels like with him passing away, kind of that sense of innocence, that kind of childlike wonder, looking up to your heroes, it just doesn't quite feel the same anymore now that he's gone.
Definitely. He was someone that was always there, no matter what, and life just feels off now, without him here.
Yeah.
It's just...
His legacy's complicated too. He wasn't just all happy, all good all the time. There's a lot to digest with his career, but it just sucks that we won't be able to digest that with him now that he's gone.
Exactly.
Of course, Bryant was known first for his accomplishments on the court, inspiring the next generation of young hoopers across the globe. Almost any pickup game around the world features someone attempting one of Bryant's signature fadeaway jump shots.
His impact hit close to home for many of SU's basketball team. Connor was able to talk to some of the players and to see how Bryant inspired their game and how they'll try to move forward without him.
The sudden passing of Kobe Bryant broke the hearts of many. At just 41 years old and with so much of his life ahead of him, it was all cut short in an instant. Heartbreak swept the world. His iconic status as a basketball player left an impact on the lives of many, but for college-age students from 18 to 24, the loss cut even deeper. Bryant won his 4th and 5th NBA championships in 2009 and 2010, when many SU students were at the tail end of elementary school. He was a part of our childhood, and his death hit home for many who saw him as a legend. The news of Bryant's passing came after a road loss for SU's men's basketball team. Many T-Birds modeled their games after Bryant and saw him as a role model. Hearing of his death left players reeling.
I didn't want to believe it at first because, Kobe impacted so many of the younger generation's lives in basketball, and he's the reason, most of the people picked up a basketball. So, it made it seem like I knew him personally, but I didn't. So it was devastating on any basketball player to miss somebody like that.
Bryant was not universally loved, but he left behind a hole in the basketball world.
It's actually crazy. I grew up hating Kobe. I was a Suns fan, so grew up like hating him. But as I got older, I just gained a lot more respect, and I admired his game. I think we could all say at one point we were in the gym shooting a fadeaway shot, yelling Kobe.
SUU small forward Cameron Eliaton idolized Bryant.
That was my favorite player since I was little. I used to literally just imitate my game after him. I used to just look up like full games of Kobe just so I could just learn from him, learn from his mentality. Yeah, like I said, that's my favorite player, and it just feels weird him not being here.
Bryant became a role model for young players because of his tenaciousness on the court, but Bryant's example as a father was equally inspiring.
He was a great player, but more than anything, he was a great father. And I try to model myself as a great father because I'm a father myself. So I looked at him for more reasons than basketball. It was beyond.
Many players acknowledge that things won't ever be the same without Kobe.
I think a big thing with Kobe that he rubbed off on me was just sticking to your passion. You know, I feel like too many people nowadays try to do what society tells them to do. And Kobe was big on, you know, being passionate with what you want to do in life. And I think that really pays off. It really shed light on me, especially with me having a son and stuff. I just want him to be happy with what he wants to do.
Grieving Bryant's death has been difficult, but many players are hoping to channel Kobe's ferocious mentality to work through the loss.
I mean, you just got to carry on his legacy, like Mamba mentality. Don't ever take a day for granted, because I mean, you don't know when it's your last day on this earth, and you just got to give every day your best effort and go out there and play hard.
CBS's James Herbert characterized Bryant's signature Mamba mentality this way. He said the Mamba mentality is about obsession. It is about playing without fear, mastering your craft, and wanting not only to win but to dominate. As SUU basketball and the rest of the world tries to move on without Kobe Bryant, we'll try and channel that Mamba mentality and try and work through this grief. For SUTV, I'm Connor Sanders.
Yeah, that loss, especially heartbreaking for those players whose identity is founded so much on basketball, like those college basketball players grew up idolizing Kobe, like Cameron Eliaton said, he modeled his game after Kobe, and now as they are starting to become fathers, they're trying to model their fatherhood after him as well. It's interesting to see the impact he had, and it sucks that he's not going to be able to keep impacting us like that.
Definitely, you know, his impact was felt everywhere, you know. He wasn't just a basketball player, wasn't just a father. He was so much more to everything, you know. And everyone, even outside of basketball, try to strive to be like Kobe, you know, with that Mamba mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. He was so decorated off of the court as well. Had his own ESPN series where he would analyze basketball clips. He ended up winning an Oscar for an animated short film. He was just so talented, and really, you're going to feel his footprint for a long time. We're going to talk about Kobe for a long time.
We definitely will. He not only inspired basketball players, but he left an impact on fans. Some of those fans weren't even basketball fans. They were just fans of Kobe.
After retiring in 2016, Bryant won the Oscar for Best Animated Short Film and was a huge advocate for the development of women's basketball, thanks in part to his daughter Gianna. Bryant had a big impact on his fans and, of course, his peers.
One of my favorite Kobe moments, I get a call from this unknown number, and it keeps calling me and calling me. So eventually I answer it, and it's Kobe on the phone. I run outside immediately because Kobe's calling me, and he said, "Hey, Boston's guarding me this way on the pick and roll. What should I do?" He said, "You're the best at pick and rolls in this game. I watched your series versus them. How should I attack them when they blitz me? How should I attack them when they hedge? How should I attack them when they playing soft?" And this is one of the greatest players to ever play, and he's reaching out to me, a younger player, asking me, how do I attack these pick and rolls? And I'm sitting there waiting the next game, and I'm hoping that he do one of the things I said, and to watch him dominate that series after that, I felt like he let me be a part of it. Like I felt a part of that championship, you know?
You know, a guy who motivated me, who brought the best out of me, you know, on and off the court. And I tell people to today, you know, there would be no Paul Pierce the Truth without Kobe. I mean, if people know where the nickname The Truth came from, it was from me having a really good game against Kobe Bryant and Shaq dubbing me The Truth. And so it was very hard for me to just like, you know, I felt like I lost a brother.
But when he came to see me, me and my son was in the studio, and he was talking to my son, and the information he was giving my son was it was like a teacher. And it was the same stuff that I had told my son, but he didn't hear me the way he heard him. It was so much confirmation.
Yes.
That I needed from Kobe to come in and mentor my son at that time because he had made the decision not to play football
Right.
and to try other things in life. And Kobe gave him the confirmation that whatever you do, just be great at what you do.
Right. I know Laker Nation is hurt, but even people that rooted against Kobe or rooted against his team broke down because you can't believe that this actually happened.
Yeah, I was one of those people that rooted against Kobe my whole life. Never thought of myself as a Kobe fan. I always followed the Jazz. But losing him, like I said, and like Shannon Sharp mentioned, it was just so much more than just losing a basketball player. It felt like we were losing part of our community as sports fans.
Exactly. You know, I was never a Laker fan. I was never really a basketball fan, but my brother was a big Laker fan, and just to spite him, I always went against the Clippers. I went for the Clippers, I should say. And, but I couldn't hate the Lakers because of Kobe. He was someone. His impact was immense.
Yeah.
You had to respect his game. You had to respect him as a person because of all he's done for basketball, for sports, for even having an Oscar. It's just
winning an Oscar as a former basketball player. He was so talented, fluent in English, fluent in Italian. He just meant so much to so many of us, and I don't think we'll ever fully recover from losing somebody like that.
I don't think we will.
When we come back, we'll take a dive into the Super Bowl matchup this Sunday.
Don't go anywhere.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Baseball has had a long history of scandals within the major leagues. From Pete Rose betting on his own games to the steroid era of the 2000s, the American pastime's history isn't exactly squeaky clean. The Houston Astros have started a new trend and are being punished for it.
The Astros were found to have stolen signs during the 2017 World Series run. In that time, Houston defeated the Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. I had the chance to dive a little deeper into the scandal.
Traded over here because of the Sanchez success. Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
The Houston Astros 2017 World Series win kicks out what many believe to be the start of a dynasty. Instead, the dynasty is now at risk of crumbling to the ground. The culprit? A live video feed of the opposing catcher's signs and a trash can. Houston employees were set up in center field with the camera aimed directly at the signs the catcher was giving a pitcher. Players on the bench would watch the feed and relay the sign to the batter with a banging trash can. What does this look like in action? In this at-bat, Edwin Gas received a signal from the bench before each pitch was getting done well this year. In this situation, one bang signals a curveball, two bangs a changeup, and no bang equals a fastball. You can see the sequence happens in an instant, with bangs becoming as soon as Farquhar is set on the mound. Even with just a broadcast camera, you can make out the signs from the catcher. The Astros have a singular view set up just inside their dugout to quickly help the batter determine the next pitch. Gaz is able to adjust the swing when he knows what pitch is coming and battles to prolong the at-bat. The seventh pitch of the at-bat, Danny Farquhar hears the bang and calls his catcher out to change signs. With a new set of signs, nothing is relayed to Gaddis, and he strikes out swinging.
And Farquhar gets Gaddis for the first out of the eighth.
In November 2019, former Astros pitcher Mike Fiers confided in Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic in reporting the team's wrongdoings. Major League Baseball launched an investigation into the report, reviewing film as far back as 2016. Their findings were quite telling. The mastermind behind the setup was Alex Cora, the Houston bench coach. Cora orchestrated the setup based on a suggestion that came from a veteran player on the team, Carlos Beltran. Not everyone was on board with the
I'll just tell you, when I was dreaming
Field
about
manager
Game 7 of the
AJ
World
Hinch
Series, I
disproved
was
the
always
idea
batting
but never
third,
really
and I was
told
always
his players to stop. He went as far as to destroy the monitors on 2 separate occasions. He never stopped his players and owned up to his punishment. As a leader and major league manager, it is my responsibility to lead players and staff with integrity that represents the game in the best possible way. While the evidence consistently showed that I didn't endorse or participate in the sign-stealing practices, I failed to stop them, and I am deeply sorry. General Manager Jeff Lunau was a different story. He adamantly denied any knowledge and distanced himself from the cheating. I am not a cheater. Anybody who has worked closely with me during my 32-year career inside and outside baseball can attest to my integrity. I did not know rules were being broken. Hinch and Lunau were suspended by MLB for one season, but were then fired by Astros owner Jim Crane. Additionally, the team was shipped to 4 draft picks and fined $5 million,
we have a
which is the
number of
highest amount
capable
possible
guys that
by
can
the
run
Major
that
League Constitution.
operation.
To complicate the story further, Alex Cora and Carlos Beltran have both left the Astros prime positions as managers of the new team. Cora led the Boston Red Sox to 2018 World Series title and made another investment to the use of Apple Watches in 2018. The Los Angeles Dodgers lost in the World Series to the Astros and Red Sox in both seasons in question, leading many fans to call for the titles to be stripped.
There's no good that comes from this, and the reality is, let me be very, very clear. I think Major League Baseball should fly into Houston, go to the Astros facilities, and confiscate that World Series trophy immediately. I think the players should have to surrender their rings immediately because the integrity of the game was so flagrantly compromised, and especially since you're not punishing any of the players because clearly you reached an agreement with them, you granted them immunity, they sung like birds because of it, and as a result, they don't have to worry about losing their money. The bottom line is this: they have to pay a price too because they were complicit. There is no doubt about this.
I think that has
That's
a lot
where
of...
you confiscate them damn rings and those championship trophies.
MLB say that they will not strip the title, but if new evidence is uncovered, could that change their mind? The full results remain to be seen in what could be the biggest scandal in baseball history. For SUTVNews, I'm Thomas D'Anello.
Yeah, this is certainly an insane situation right now for baseball. It sucks the Astros, they went through so many struggles and finally got to the World Series, in two out of 3 years, for it to find out this is how they won it. It hurts.
Yeah, I wanted to believe in the Astros. No, they were able to turn things around, but yeah, that integrity, like Stephen A. Smith mentioned, you just can't try and hold a sport without having that integrity to build upon.
No, it's hard. Like, as a baseball fan, I try to I vouch that baseball is normally a clean sport, and that obviously is hard to vouch for now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The NFL season is almost over as Super Bowl 54 is set for this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers are looking for the 6th Super Bowl title in franchise history, while the Chiefs will appear in the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years.
This matchup features Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' high-powered offense, while the 49ers' defense has been one of the best in the NFL this season. A lot of speculation has gone around as to who will win the game, so our reporter Race Knutson caught up with people around campus to see who they think will win.
Super Bowl Sunday, we've got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you think will win?
I'm going to vote for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to vote for the 49ers.
49ers, because Colin Kaepernick is gone.
I'm not going to lie, I don't watch football. I'm from a different country, so, but I'm going to say, what are you going to say? The 49ers.
49ers.
Kansas City, because Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
Who will win the Super Bowl?
Obviously the Chiefs.
I have to go with the Chiefs, and I don't know why. I just.
Because Patrick Mahomes is cute, right?
He is. I do like Pat Mahomes, so.
Well, it's not of who I think's gonna win, it's who I know is gonna win. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. You heard it here first.
Oh, it's the Chiefs every time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
What do you think is going to happen in the Super Bowl, Thomas?
I'm pulling for the Niners. I think ultimately their defense is too strong. Even Chiefs have a fiery offense. I think that defense is going to be the difference maker, especially with that D-line. Chiefs don't have a elite O-line, but that's an elite D-line for the Niners, and I think that's going to pressure Mahomes too much.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The Chiefs haven't faced the defense this agile, this quick to the ball all season long, and you look at the way that the Niners are able to control the game. They won against the Packers, and as we're seeing in this highlight, they only passed the ball 8 times this whole game.
Definitely.
They can move the ball on the ground, and they can keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, which can make it so difficult for Andy Reid and the Chiefs.
You know, like Chiefs are going to rely on Mahomes mostly with that QB magic, but Niners obviously don't need it. You know, attempting 8 passes in a playoff game is a bold move, but it paid off. I think it'll pay off again once more.
Yeah, I think that the Chiefs can kind of just make this game theirs early on. If they get out to a really fast start, maybe take out a 14-21-0 lead, then that will make life very difficult for the Niners. But the Niners really can control the game from the go if they don't let Mahomes get comfortable.
Definitely. Yeah. We saw with the Texans, they pressured them, though, but they did have that second half magic, that they can come back from.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun game no matter what, though. It's going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, the Niners led the league in rushing yards and had the best defense, so it'll be a fun one to watch for sure.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the fallout of the new ice rink in Cedar City.
We'll be right back.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
SUU soccer has never been a powerhouse program amongst NCAA schools. In fact, the team has lost 30 games over the last 2 seasons. Only a few games into the 2019 conference schedule, the team lost 2 key players that only spent 1 year with the program.
We have a reporter, Kurt Meekum, who will show us different aspects of what led the players to lead the program over the next few weeks. Today we show you part 1.
Bree Aldridge and Danielle Moret may not have grown up together, but they've shared a common passion for years, playing soccer.
I played on a club team, and everyone's goal was to play college soccer. And ever since being little, I had this dream, that's what I want to do. And so I worked really, really hard, and we went to showcases, and I just knew that was my dream. I didn't know where yet, but I just always knew I wanted to play at the next level.
I wanted to go to UCLA or UC Berkeley because I had really good grades, and the appeal of soccer there was just incredible. And I'm from Los Angeles, so those schools were really, really close to home for me.
Their passion then turned into a way to pay for school, as both players had garnered attention from several powerhouse programs. However, they both took an unconventional path to their first school. Aldridge first committed to Gonzaga her freshman year of high school, but a coaching change her senior year convinced her to look at other programs.
It was just way too young, so I didn't really know what I wanted, so I made that choice without just more on the title and not really understanding where I was going to.
Moret's dreams of playing for a powerhouse California school took a hit when she broke her knee. The injury also did not help her recruiting process.
I fell off the map because sophomore year of high school is when everyone gets recruited and when everyone commits to a school, and I lost my opportunity with that because I was really injured, and I ended up being injured for a year. And then when I came back, due to family circumstances, I had to move to Colorado. So I went from California to Colorado in the middle of season, and so I missed out on about 2 years of soccer.
That's when Mississippi State came in the picture. The SEC school was coming off of a 6-12-1 season in 2016, including 1-10 in conference play, and only scored 2 goals in their last 7 games. The school had recently hired away NC State assistant Tom Anagist, who helped the Wolfpack reach the round of 16 and had previous head coaching experience at Miami and Central Michigan. He was also able to find film of Aldridge in an unconventional way.
Mississippi State, I actually didn't send it to them. I just got a random call from them one day. They saw it on a website and were like, we'd love to bring you on a visit, bring you down here. We think you'd be a good fit.
Moret, who was flying to games in other states to continue chasing her dreams with her Colorado team, met Anagist in Seattle and quickly found a connection with the coach.
He saw me and he liked the type of player I was. I told him straight up, soccer's my life, it's my dream. Back then I wanted to play professionally and that I wanted to dedicate my whole life to the sport. And he loved my enthusiasm and my love for the game.
The coach offered both athletes scholarships, but they were hesitant to accept the offers at first.
And I was like, the SEC, I've never heard of the SEC because I've always been on the West Coast and the SEC is the Southern Conference.
At first I was like, no, I'm not going to go to Mississippi. That's way too far. I honestly hadn't even really heard of Mississippi State. I knew of the SEC, but I just didn't even realize they were in that conference.
However, like most high school recruits, both players took an official visit to the Southern school. When Aldridge took her visit, she knew she had found a challenge to strengthen her, as well as somewhere she could call home.
Instantly, the one thing that stood out to me about there is just the hard work that they demand, and they make you a better person, well, I thought, on and off the field. And so I just would say the sense of family down there felt really strong. It seemed like everyone really cared about you on a deeper level, and I felt like going there was going to make me a better person on and off the field.
Marette, who is a self-proclaimed workaholic, saw the ability to satisfy her habits.
When I went to the campus, I was just in shock of how amazing it was. I had never seen facilities like the SEC because it's just so much money that's in athletics, and they have top-notch facilities, top-notch trainers. The campus was beautiful and so many people, and it was such a different culture that, to me, there is such an appeal of going to the South.
Although it took some time after the visits, Aldridge and Marette both eventually committed to the Bulldogs, where they would finally meet and form their friendship.
Funny how life works. These players from not really that close together end up together in Mississippi playing soccer together. It's funny how that recruiting process can work out.
Well, definitely. They're both from two different places, to go to Mississippi State together coincidentally and then end up at SU eventually. It'll be interesting to see how they actually did.
Yeah, this is a 4-part series. We're not even close to the conclusion yet. I'm really excited to see what the next step looks like.
If you're interested, make sure you tune back in next week.
Absolutely.
The hockey club at SU has been growing on campus, and a new ice rink was supposed to help the club get full support from the SU athletic department. But a deal for the new rink fell through during city council meetings.
Our reporter Anders Henningsen has the story of what went wrong in the deal.
Staley West Incorporated and the Cedar City Council have come to a standstill on the development of a new and upgraded ice rink at the Cedar City Aquatic Center. Staley was forced to withdraw its agreement from the City Council after the two were unable to reach an agreement on the lease that was being negotiated. The two groups have been in negotiations since February of 2019 and had an agreement where the city would pay a small portion of the building cost, while Staley West would pay half the bill, all the utilities, and would need to fundraise the rest of the money. The two groups had countless debates and arguments over the last 11 months that eventually led to a fallout over control of the new ice rink. The new ice rink was going to be a completely new complex with 3 walls, a full-sized NHL regulation ice rink. It would have a pro shop, otherwise known as a hockey shop, a concession stand, and bathrooms. The rink was set to host SUU Hockey Club games as well as other public events. This final move has upset and discouraged many members of the community, as well as members of the SUU Hockey Club.
Kind of upset, just because it sounded like very promising off the start. It seemed we had a lot of support, backing, but then it just kept changing the deal and changing, and with the Staley's bending over for it, it made us think that it was going to happen eventually, but it didn't seem to stop. So it's kind of an aggravating process, honestly.
Of course, you'd want something unique that, people have to come from miles around to access, but the fact that they are shutting us down in favor of basketball courts, of which there are numerous amounts of those in this town, I think it's stupid. I think it's just, I don't think it's in the city's best interest.
Yeah, so I think probably the biggest concern is just how are we going to keep an ice skating rink around in Cedar City. It's become such an important part of the community, and we have so many people participating in all of these activities at the ice rink. It would be a crying shame if it was all to just go away.
Yeah, that's such a shame for SU hockey. They were really excited for it. How they're ripped out from under their feet like that. It has to sting for the team.
Yeah, I know that's something that's been in the works for a long time. They've been trying to get something built up, and like they mentioned, there's plenty of basketball courts around, and kind of want to reward these passionate individuals so they can have a place to play the game that they love so much,
They certainly deserve it. That's all we have for you today. I'm Thomas Dianella.
And I'm Connor Sanders. Next week we'll be back with the Super Bowl recap, but until then, be sure to tune in Tuesday for our regularly scheduled news show.